Hi, purpose of this video is to give you a quick little overview of some of the important parts of our IMC plan and advertising campaign. Now you'll see that our first goal here is to create an advertising integrated marketing communications plan and campaign to sell the assigned nonprofit to the target audience, which in this case is going to be college students. And remember to use concepts related to the persuasion and advertising theories in the IMC plan and in each advertising execution. So you're going to design a plan to sell your nonprofit that you've been assigned to college students. And the plan is for your assigned nonprofit to execute as an advertising campaign to appeal to college students. You're going to have 4 sections of analysis and research, followed by your portfolio, quality advertising executions that we're going to be able to share with your future employers, hopefully, the public, hopefully, UTSA, and of course, our client. So these are the deliverables and assessment rubric. The very first section that you want to give your attention to is the situation. This is where you're going to state the mission, vision, brand, values of the organization, the case for the current strategic position of your organization in the marketplace. And this, of course, means in the marketplace in comparison to other similar organizations. So in comparison to other organizations, what does the brand that you've been assigned, how does it relate to the others in that same particular space? So if you've been assigned an environmental organization, for example, then what other environmental organizations are out there competing for the same kind of customers or supporters? The application of secondary and primary research, the important thing there is the word primary research. It's not all secondary. Ideally, you would create and conduct a little survey, even if it's with a very small focus group of some friends of yours that happen to be college students. The secondary research is much easier to find. You can find all sorts of research through our UTSA libraries. A clear and unique selling proposition. A unique selling proposition, or a USP, is something that makes your brand or your organization different when compared to other organizations in the same product or organization space. So just like we were talking about your current position of your organization in the marketplace, your unique selling proposition is what sets your organization that you've been assigned apart from the other similar organizations in the marketplace that have the same kind of mission, goals, or values as your organization. In your strategic objectives section, there's a couple of things that I want to draw your attention to. The first important thing is to get laser specific on what your objectives are, because you have a very short amount of space to make the case that your particular campaign will be successful in its goals. And if you carve out awareness, donations, and volunteers, all of those things, then chances are it's going to be difficult to prove that you can be successful. So what mix of these things, or what specific parts of these things do you think you can be most successful with? Remember, the more specific you are here, the better. The specific, measurable, and actionable objectives are one of the most important parts of this section. Effective phasing is also important. Is it important to have a social media campaign push before you have a promotion, during your promotional idea, or after your promotional idea? So if your promotional idea is an event, for example, does it make more sense to have a promotional push before, during, or after? Where do you want to spend the time advertising and marketing that particular event for the best possible impact? It's possible that it's all three different phases, but you want to be sure to be specific as to why it should be the first, second, or third phase of that process. The next section is the audience analysis section. This section specifically focuses on the secondary and primary audience research. The best way to do audience research is to actually ask a small group of friends questions about your campaign objectives. what they'd be likely to support, how they'd be likely to support it. Make sure that you include this as a part of your primary research effort. Secondary research is much simpler because we have an amazing library. The other part of this section that I want to discuss is the psychographic dimensions. This is also described best as lifestyles. Is your target audience the subsection or the subculture of your particular target audience? What do they like to do? How do they spend their time, their money, their talent? What is it about their psychographics that makes them tick, that will make them believe in your campaign? The creative campaign strategies and tactics are also where your deliverables are measured. So your ad executions, your advertising executions that are assigned later in this Spark page are a part of this 60% total. So it's not just the under 700 words that are a part of your campaign strategies and tactics, it's also your actual campaign deliverables are the ad executions themselves that make this case. And speaking of making the case, make sure that you include persuasive communication theories or persuasive frameworks from our text in this portion of your campaign plan, because we want to understand the theory behind why this set of ads or set of deliverables or set of ad executions will work for your target audience. And the best way to describe that and make that clear is by using a persuasive communication theory or a persuasion communication framework to make that case. Addressing the needs of both target audiences means your primary audience is college students. Who's your secondary audience? Be sure you're clear on who else you are targeting in addition to college students. Is it college students and their parents? Is it college students and their friends that are not college students? Is it college students and their family? Clearly showing a link between the research and the creative approach is especially important. You want to be able to leverage the research that you have done and that you have produced, if it's primary research, as a reason that your particular campaign objectives and strategy will be accepted by the client and work for the client. How will it make a difference in the client's goals specifically? And whenever you craft your goals, be sure to keep in mind that you're going to need to show a link between the research and the creative thematic approach that you've taken in the form of the colors that you've used in your ads, in the form of a tagline that you've used in your ads, in the form of the overall psychological consistency that you have used as you have co-constructed meaning with your audience. If you have any other questions or concerns, let me know, and I hope you do something great.